Last week, the PCs, they sailed away from Wrecker Isle, leaving their patron, Oscar Udgren, to pursue his own interests, if you like. They headed to Graveyard Isle in search of a local fisherman named Orvar, who had warned them about the dangers of staying on Wrecker Island the night before. The journey aboard the Anna with Captain Bergstrom was pleasant until the PCs noticed that they were actually being followed by Pete and Pace of the Amundsen family, suspected wreckers and potential murderers of Carl Erik Hedquist, a local priest. As they approached Graveyard Isle, a mysterious and incredibly localized storm sank the Anna and drowned a captain, and the PCs managed to swim to Graveyard Isle as the storm disappeared as quickly as it manifested. They found Orvar's shack, and he told them about the rumours behind the Munson family, and that the herring baron, as he is known, Zacharias Amundsen, was actually a child of the sea, and that the Amundsens had sailed out to Deep Reef every new moon for some mysterious purpose. The characters then persuaded Orvar to take them to Deep Reef, where they awaited the arrival of the Amundsens. Ingrid, the group's occultist, played by Red, conducted a seance and managed to summon the spirit of Paul Amundsen, the family's older brother, who had mysteriously disappeared a month ago. And he told them that he'd been struck down from behind after he'd witnessed priest Carl Erik shoot himself in the head here on Deep Reef, refusing to allow himself to be sacrificed to her. Once the Amundsens arrived on the island, the player character spied on them and saw them drag two figures out of some herring barrels that they'd brought with them. The figures turned out to be none other than Oscar Udgren and Justina Johansson, the waitress from the inn where the PCs had spent their first night, and he's the apparent object of Oscar's affections. Vlad attempted some theatrics, and he pretended to be Paul's spirit returned for revenge, which appeared to confuse Zacharias, Paul's mother, Abella, and his two brothers, Pete and Pace, for a moment. Probably, I mean, we decided it was going to be canon that during this particular scene, what may have ruined his chances a little bit was that he'd said that his name was Paul.
That's Paul, to be silent.
Thank you. During this brief exchange of words, Valdis, played by Tony, and Roland, played by Lloyd, attempted to sneak up on the family to kind of catch them in like a pincer movement where they witnessed the arrival of Zacharias' real mother. And that's where we're going to start. And I think we'd made some fear rolls. We'd made some fear rolls at the end of session, and a couple of you had failed them, but then I reread the rules and realized that you actually have a bonus on that. So what I'd like, I'm not going to make Roland roll again because he got 2 successes for this fear roll. But Vlad and Valdis, who had seen this creature come out of the sea, you'd failed, and so I would like you to re-roll, if that's all right.
What was it that we're re-rolling?
It's a fear roll, so you get to use one of the mental attributes. So it's going to be either logic or empathy, and you need to make a roll on that. You need to get a success on that. But there's a caveat. I'm gonna.
Now he tells us the caveat.
It was the reason you've actually got bonus dice. That's the difference, because you've got your companions with you. This gives you extra courage, and so you get to roll with up to 3, depending on how many people you've got with you. It's 1 per member of the society that is in this scene with you. You get to roll that as bonus dice. Okay, so, I mean, Vlad, you've managed it anyway. Valdis, do you want to do another roll, but add 3 bonus dice to this? Because you've got, like, a whole bunch of your companions with you.
Okay, give it a go.
Yeah, why not? It didn't help. And so you're terrified by this creature you've seen. Now, as she kind of crawls up out of the water, she is like this incredibly beautiful woman that you can see. However, she has a long fish-like tail. She kind of hauls herself up onto the land using her forearms. She has this incredible golden hair that kind of is floating around her head, almost as if it's still underwater. And this beatific smile. She is beautiful, but at the same time, she is absolutely terrifying. And you've got an option here. You get to flee. It means that you use all of your actions to just flee from the thing that frightens you. You don't get a chance to pick anything up, talk, or help anyone. You just choose the fastest way out and run away. You can freeze. You just cannot move. And if you're in a dark, concealed position, somebody would actually have to take a vigilance test to be able to spot you because you're just standing completely still. You can faint if you so desire. Or you can attack. And you attack the nearest hostile person or creature with whatever weapon you are currently holding. Now, Valdis is a hunter. I assume Valdis is carrying her rifle with her.
Yeah, well, that's why we were moving into position to get a better chance.
It was. So what's Valdis want to do out of those options? Flee, freeze, faint, or attack?
To be honest, I think it's probably actually going to be attack.
Okay.
Being a hunter, it's the whole, even though she does get scared, it's like, no, I can't lose nerve, I've got to carry on. So I'm guessing it would be just, I'm scared, but I'm still I need to shoot, I need to get it, kind of thing. Yep.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. So you are, I mean, that you can just make out this creature. It's kind of in some dim light from the lantern that Godmother Abella is carrying. You can just make out this figure as it kind of hauls itself and it seems to be kind of looking across towards Zacharias. And she has this enigmatic kind of smile on her face. But you, in your fear, decide you're going to open fire. So what we'll do, I'm going to let you have this shot. They're unaware of you. They're aware of Vlad, and all attention is on him at the moment. So you are going to get to take a shot here, and you're going to get a bonus dice on this one. But you will lose that bonus dice because she's in a dim light, so it's not so easy to see her. So it's just a straight roll from you, if you wouldn't mind. And all you got to do is click on your gun, I think. Okay. I'll make that roll for you if you're having issues with your internet. No problem. And you score a success. Oh, I've got a private roll, but you've got a success there.
Yay!
Yay! And it's 2 damage with the rifle. So the gun and Roland, Vlad, you hear this. This gunshot suddenly go off. In fact, all of you do. Ingrid, even you on the opposite side of the island, you hear this too. This gunshot goes off. And you see this thing kind of move, like jerk. You know that you've scored a hit, Valdis. What's everybody else up to right now? Because we're going to go into initiative in a moment.
Well, I kind of expected that Abella was shooting at me. So as soon as I hear this gunshot, I'm going to be like...
Perfect. Yeah.
Cholera, you hit.
Was I not with them?
You were just behind Vlad because you were shining a lantern behind him to give him a halo, weren't you?
Okay.
Or something.
Okay.
Well, what's Ingrid doing? You're with Orvar down on the other side of the island at the moment.
Yeah, so Ingrid has this crazy idea that the reason that the reason sacrifices have to be made is that it's kind of like paying rent for keeping Zacharias on land, and so she's trying to figure out how to, if there is a way of forcibly returning him to his original mother.
Okay. Okay. And has she got any ideas how she might do it?
Other than trying to sneak up behind him and push him in, nothing grand at the moment.
Okay.
But previous comments about she's a weakling. So
Fine.
maybe take him out from back of the knees.
So, I mean, are you going to move? Do you want to move anywhere on this island? Are you going to try and make your way around? Or do you want to stay where you are? You just kind of move your token in the general. Sorry?
Have we got a map up?
You should have one. Can you not see it?
No, it still says game paused and a black screen.
That's probably down to me again. There we go.
Just click in your screen.
There we go.
Aha.
There we go. So you are down in the bottom corner here, bottom left of the island.
Nothing like splitting a party.
I know.
Hey, we're not split that far. It's not.
I mean, it's not that big an
You're wrong.
island. You're in the same scene. That's not that bad, right? So, so tell me, right. So you can all see that now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's Zacharias up top right. Yes.
Yes, that's right. Yep.
Okay. I'm going to try and keeping to the edges and see if I can. If I know where he is, I'm going to try and move round.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm keeping out of sight.
Okay. So let's just say you can move, maybe kind of directly to the south if you're going that way, or if you're going round, you go around the other way. Clockwise.
I will go which way? Where's the mermaid?
Mermaid is just to the just above and to the left of. It's directly above Godmother Abella.
Oh yeah. Cool. Yeah, I will be going south.
Okay. So you can kind of stick yourself down the bottom there. We'll say it's going to take you a couple of if you're going to keep moving. It's going to take you a couple of rounds to get around there. But we're not going to be. We're not. This isn't a tactical map. We're not going to be going nuts or anything. So just move yourself somewhere down there. Roland.
Yeah, I'm gonna draw my revolver. I want to keep an eye on and see how the thing reacts to getting shot. But I still want to keep a low profile to just sort of keep a good position.
Sure.
For what happens next.
Do you want to get closer, or do you want to?
Yeah, I was gonna get just a bit closer.
Okay. Yeah, do you want to creep a little bit closer there? What's Elsa doing? Now, Vlad appears to be. In fact, does Elsa think that Vlad's been shot? If she's heard the gunshot and she sees Vlad.
I will sort of say, are you okay?
Yes, they must have missed me.
I apparently have a gun.
That's all right.
I've discovered it on my sheet.
Yes.
So apparently I must know how to use it.
I think Roland's just feeling the hair on the back of his neck. Like, oh no, something terrible has happened.
I have a gun. So I'm going to shoot my gun at Oh, there's a decision I've got to make. Who would I shoot it at?
Well, that's a good question.
The bang is silent.
I'm going to shoot it at the Merson.
Zacharias.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, okay. I mean, he's.
I don't like him.
Okay, well, you shoot. You're going to try and shoot at him then.
Right. Test. Oh. Why is it saying test?
I don't know why it's saying test. What are you doing?
How do I shoot a gun?
Click on the gun and.
It says test. Test pistol or revolver. I'm just going to roll it. Wow, I rolled a lot.
Look at that. 2 successes. Now, this is interesting. Okay, you've got 2 successes, so you can basically double your damage, can't you? You can increase the damage by 1, effectively. So your pistol does 2, actually. You can increase the damage by 1 to make it 3. Or you can do some fancy shooting with it if you wanted to do something else, some fancy effect. What do you want to do?
I want to shoot him just there.
You want to shoot him in the head?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, you take careful aim.
Okay.
Should have cheated before now, shouldn't I?
Sorry.
No, it's me. It's all on me. Ooh. Okay. So how do you kill him?
I blow his brains out.
Are you actually shit? Yeah. Okay. So, he's in a state of confusion. You see him kind of moving around. He's not quite sure what the hell's going on with. Obviously, he's had this conversation with what maybe Paul. This thing has just kind of showed up, and then the next thing he knows, he's got some lead between his ears, and he kind of. There's like a small hole just appears in his forehead, and then a moment later, a little red streak kind of starts rolling down his face, and he just topples backwards and into the water.
Elsa's bringing in the heat.
Yeah.
I think Mommy Mermaid's going to be a bit annoyed. I probably should have warned Vlad because I did shoot it by his ear.
Yeah, Blood Pix has been shot again.
But he's not going to hear your apology now.
No, definitely not. So, what we should probably do now is roll for initiative, everyone.
Oh, have I just caused a fight?
Well, it had already started.
I say.
But I was letting you all have a go before, while they were just a bit confused about what was going on. So,
Roll for initiative.
So you've got a little thing on your bar. It says draw initiative on the bar at the bottom of the screen. And
it said initiate combat
Combat.
first.
Oh, initiative. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go for it, folks.
How many cards do we want to
Just
draw?
one.
Just one?
Just one. Yeah.
Not enough cards left shuffling the deck.
Yeah, it's all right. It always lies like that. Okay. Now I'm going to make a roll for.
This looks
Yeah,
interesting. We've not done this before, have we?
No, we haven't. And this is probably where it's all going to fall apart. But
No, we just take our time. We'll go through it slowly.
I do not see where it's asking for initiative.
Okay, bottom of the screen, there's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at the bottom.
it's the one that looks like a pile of cards.
Number 1. Yeah.
Missing
on that.
from my screen. I'm going to refresh.
Oh, is it?
It's okay. We'll refresh.
Oh, you have to add them to yourself, I think, don't you?
I can do that for you. He says.
Nah.
Well, we're on pause. I wasn't expecting that to happen, but it did.
Good Tony drawing 6.
Oh, yeah, you got
Lloyd drew 10.
Well, we don't know if high or low is better. I mean, I think Andy's only got a 2.
Yeah. And with this, it's the...
7.
Yeah, with this game, lowest goes first. Okay, I'll do that for you.
There we go.
It's a 3.
Okay, so... okay.
Okay, so first up is Elsa.
Yes.
So
We've
you've
got
just,
5 shots left, though, haven't I?
you do. You've just fired your revolver, and you appear to have killed. Right, you hear a scream from the mother, and also from Godmother Abella, as this gunshot goes off.
I'm going to aim for the mermom,
Okay.
and I'm going to shoot the mermom.
Sure. Go for it. Okay, it's quite dark. She's still kind of in the dark, not quite in the light from Abella's lamp. And so the shot kind of goes wild. You see it kind of a little bit of smoke kind of ping off the rocks nearby, and she kind of jerks us to the side and kind of turns her eyes towards you or into your general direction. Let me just kind of stick these people on here as well. Right, so it is Vlad.
Yeah, I think I from where I am, do I see where the captives are specifically?
Yes, they're standing amongst this group with Pete, Pace, and Godmother Abella.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to move. I'm going to crawl forward, actually, and I'm going to attempt a persuasion check, saying something like, "Mommy, don't let them kill me again, Mommy."
Okay, you're going to make a roll for that, sure.
Yeah, I'm going to crawl.
I think in this situation, you're going to have a penalty dice as well, because there's all this going off.
Fair. So it's a manipulation?
Yeah.
And the penalty is a?
-1.
-1.
Oh. That's kind of cool.
Nice.
Can she resist? What was she? I think I'm going to go with vigilance. She sees straight through it, unfortunately.
Wow.
And yeah, you see the shotgun kind of comes up and points in your general direction, and she shouts, "Go!" Anyway, so are you doing anything else, Vlad, or is that your go?
I think that's a slow that's a slow action, correct?
Okay, so you're going to keep your fast action for
fast action will be to fall prone.
Okay, and you dive to the floor.
Yeah.
Sure thing. Okay, we're up to right. The mermaid kind of hauls herself into the light. And you kind of see her in her awesome, terrible beauty. Elsa, you haven't seen her yet, have you? So you need to make a fear roll. So you choose one of the mental stats, so logic or empathy. You make a roll against one of those.
Did observation because I've just glanced around and seen her, and I succeed.
Okay, yes. Yes, so you kind of see this thing as she kind of pulls herself around, and she's looking in your direction. She looks mad as hell. She's definitely going to go and fuck somebody up.
Oh, no.
Yeah. She starts to sing, strangely. This kind of high-pitched, keening sound. And it kind of gets into your head.
Put my hand on my ears.
Okay, is that what you're doing? That'll be your fast action. You get a fast action and a slow action each turn. A fast action is like a reaction type thing.
Yeah.
So you can clap your hands over your ears if you like.
I kind of go. I'm still holding the gun, so I'm going to do that kind of like.
Yeah. So
I might shout to Vlad, who can't hear me because I just deafened him in one ear. Cover your ears.
Well, you may have saved his life.
Sure. Okay, so that's her done. Right, so one of the brothers, who is now I think he's going to. He's rushing towards you, Vlad. He's kind of running towards you. He's brandishing this knife, and he's screaming obscenities at you. He's going to kill you. As you know, you've just killed his brother, and he's going to finish you. All right, so I've got one success there.
Okay.
Now you've used your fast action, you said, right? Dive into the
Correct.
floor.
Yeah.
So he's going to hit you with the knife. The knife is going to do. I think it's 1 point. You can set one condition, one physical condition from him.
Okay.
You get to choose which one it is as he kind of swings this knife at you.
Okay.
So that's Pace's go. And now we are on the other one, the other brother, who raises his gun and he takes aim. Now, this is all happening very quickly, so I think he's going to take a shot at. Valdis fired the first shot, so he's going to take a shot at Valdis.
Oopsie.
Yeah. So, Valdis, you can, if you wish. He's going to shoot you with Carl Eric's gun.
Okay.
You see this silver pistol kind of in the lamplight. You kind of see this flickering of this gun as he kind of points it towards you. You know exactly what's about to happen. Oh, shit. So, you can use your fast action if you wish to try and dodge this.
Yes.
So you need to make an agility check. You need to get as many successes as he did.
Oh no.
Yeah. Or you're
I
going to
will
take
try.
condition. Okay. So you take 2 conditions. Actually, it's 3 conditions because he's. Yeah, 3 physical conditions you'll take. So what you've got on your sheet, you'll see that there are those conditions at the bottom. You're going to tick 3 of those boxes. Not the broken one, that's the last one. If he hits you again, that's when you start rolling on the critical table.
Okay, so I'm
Okay.
wounded.
You are. Yeah. It's your go, Valdis, actually. How do you react to that?
I'm gonna shoot him back.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. So the rifle
Yeah.
combat. Just click it. Oh yeah. Oh, my bonus dice is -1. How rude.
These are your conditions, I'm afraid.
Ah. Okay.
Okay, the shot goes wild. But he kind of steps aside as this bullet kind of ricochets on the ground near him. And Ingrid, you can hear gunshots going off left, right, and centre now. You can't quite see anything. You're perhaps seeing the muzzle flashes from over the top of the mound. You can see Vlad has taken a dive down onto the ground. Elsa is holding a lamp. You just saw her point the gun and fire, and now she's clutching the head with her hands.
Oh no.
Sorry, so Ingrid knows. She knows she's not much use in a fight.
Okay.
Doesn't have anything ranged except the crystal ball.
You're not going to throw that.
Not throwing that, no.
But at least Zachariah is sleeping now.
True.
With the fishes.
So I think I'm gonna. Original plan is now null and void, so I'm going to try and get myself to the others because I might be of use in the vicinity of them.
Okay. So you're heading towards
I'm gonna
Elsa
head
and Vlad, or
Yeah, towards Elsa and Blood.
okay. So I'll drag your token up there. So you get up to next to Elsa. So Yeah, you see that she's kind of standing upright. She's able to see over the mound. You're probably are you crouching down? Are you standing up? What's the deal with
Yeah,
it?
I'll still be crouching down, but kind of wanting to get to Elsa, make sure she's all right. And the hands over the ears is
Okay. Excellent.
Oh, shout! She's coming along. Good for your ears. Good for your ears.
Cool. Godmother Abella. She raises a shotgun, Vlad. She's pointing it in your general direction, and she is min.
Can we drag him down? Are we able to do that? But you would have to do that on your turn.
One day you can use your fast action to maybe do something.
Is he still stood there, shocked or something?
No, he's laying on the ground. He's laying on the ground.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
Yeah, he took a dive to the ground, but you can see right in front of him now is Pace with the knife, and you can see him. He's actually took a swing, and he seems to have hit Vlad, who yells out in pain, I guess. Unless, I guess he's a stoic guy, right? He's not going to... He's just
The scream is silent.
Well, actually, he was about to hit my satchel with books inside, and
So you covered it with your buddy.
covered to protect the body, and that's when he started to stab me instead. Not the books.
Brilliant. Okay, so she takes a shot, and she's going to take a shot at you, Vlad. She raises the shotgun. You kind of see the barrel of this thing looking huge as pulls the trigger. Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, so you feel a hot, searing pain.
Too damn.
As this thing hits into you. Yeah, what are you on, Vlad, actually? What's your...
I just took one physical condition, so I'm battered, so I got to take exhausted now and wounded, and so I'm one more as well before broken.
Oh, excellent. We're rolling on critical tables. Nice.
They're not nice.
We got to use them.
Hey, we get to show off more of the game.
Yeah.
100%. Don't worry, Vlad has a brother. His name is Vlad.
Just the other letter is silent.
And the other V is silent.
Roland, there are gunshots going off all around you. You can hear the screams from Godmother Abella. You hear the shouts from Pete and Pace. Pace has just run up the hill and just taken a swing at Vlad. Yeah, everybody's just going.
You can always rely on everyone to keep their cool. I'm going to try and take a pot shot at the mermaid lady, because if she's keening, I want to try and
Yep,
hopefully
absolutely.
get lucky and whack her in the throat.
She's actually in full view of you now. She's kind of pulled herself into the light. So yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, she is going to try.
Go wreck those vocal cord.
Yeah.
I can't remember, what does push do? I kind of.
If you don't get any, if you want to increase the number of successes you got, or if you didn't get any successes, you can push yourself, take a condition, and you get to roll again. But you take a condition regardless.
Yeah. Hold off for now.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't really find look at the conditions. There's nothing that really fit. So I won't do it for now.
Okay.
Maybe next
so
time.
the bullet strikes her again. You can see it kind of from where you are. You get a better view of it. She's in the light now. It kind of hits the scales that kind of, you see these scales that kind of run up her back and down this kind of sides where her legs are, or where her legs should be, and the bullet kind of ricochets off them. But you've got her attention.
Hey.
If you want it. And we come back around to Elsa. So Elsa, you've you're covering your ears. This thing, I think what you've done there, she stopped singing. You're absolutely right there, Roland, with what you did. In fact, can you make a learning roll?
Uh,
Who, me?
No, Roland.
1 success.
Okay, and that's when you're
Don't shoot the
reminded
scales.
of the stuff that you've read about mermaids, and the fact that they're almost, it's like they have an allergy to metal. Metal is bad news for them. They don't like it. And you just shot her with a metal bullet. She stopped singing.
Yes, that's all I really wanted.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Is it like, what's the like conditions at the moment? Is there wind or anything? Am I trying to shout it like they're weak to metal?
Still. Yeah, it's incredibly still.
Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna shout so everyone can hear me, but like they're weak. The mermaids are weak to metal.
Yeah. It's not that far away, and there's lots of gunshots going off, I suppose, which might not help, but we're going to say that everybody hears you shout that. Okay, Elsa, it's back round to you.
I'm just looking at the fast actions because right in front of me, I can see this Pete like attacking Vlad.
Yes.
So I'm kind of would a fast and a slow action be like I want to shoot at him and then if I hit him that's fine, but if I don't hit him I want to like shoulder barge him to the floor.
No, that'll be 2 slow actions, I think. Yeah. Fast action would be something like if you could save your fast action for something like if they shoot at you, you can use your fast action to try and dodge.
It says parry reaction.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so what I will do then is I will shoot. I will shoot at him.
Yep.
So I'll do that first.
Oh, yeah. Item.
Wow.
You're shooting at pace, yeah?
Nice.
The one that's attacking Vlad.
Yeah.
That's blood.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you do that, and he's not going to be in good shape after this. Okay, basically, how do you kill him?
My signature shot is to the forehead, so which is
Okay,
unfortunate because Vlad might get covered in brain goo.
Yeah. But the idea here is, I guess, that he's probably not even aware that you're there necessarily. He's kind of fixated on blood, and he's kind of going, and he raises a knife up as if he's going to swing in again, and then you just stand up, point your gun, and whoa, you blow his headphones off. Yeah, we'll edit that in the YouTube video. Anyway, you blow his headphones off, and he collapses in a heap in front of Vlad. Vlad, yeah, you're covered in brains and bits of pace.
How will I know which of the bits are mine and which of the bits are his?
Can I get? So was that fast or slow? That then
That was
bang.
slow action shooting.
So
Yeah.
I'll run. Can I then run to him to make? I want to check if he's okay because he was being attacked.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll do that then.
Yeah. So you kind of kneel down over Vlad, who's kind of laying there covering his satchel with his body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, no problem. This you see the mermaid kind of drag herself towards the edge of the island, and she just kind of dives straight in, splash into the water.
Would we have any reason to think that this, like the killing Zacharias, upset the mermaid, but she was there for a sacrifice, and there has now been another body? Is that
Make a learning roll. Make a learning roll.
It was two. It was 2 sacrifices. The 2 sons.
Oh, both sons dead.
Yeah.
Well, now another one's Zacharias is dead and Pace has just died as well.
Well, I was thinking that, Zacharias being...
Yeah, being her son, potentially.
Yeah.
Still technically a sacrifice. Still dead.
Yeah. Okay. You're not
One
sure.
of them thought about it.
I mean, all right. So, a sacrifice is usually something that is not necessarily something you want to give up, I guess. It's got to mean something. So maybe a dead body wouldn't be enough. And her son especially probably wouldn't be considered a sacrifice.
It was last month.
Paul wasn't her son. And he may not have been dead when he went into the water.
Hmm.
I mean, he's probably dead now, but he may not have been.
So
We don't really like Oscar, right? We can just push him in and be done with it, right?
I mean, that's a possibility, isn't it?
I mean,
It's
that's
always a
it.
possibility.
if we want to do this, carry on with the sacrifice. I mean,
Or we could just break the cycle.
and just kill everybody anyway, because that's generally what we're doing right now.
Kill
Just
them
not going
all.
into
They're
the
evil.
water.
Kill them all.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, let's not kill everyone on this island.
No? You don't want to?
Well, like all but one is fine.
We'll keep the
I'll go along
girl.
with that play.
Okay. Right, so our next move. This guy is dead, isn't he? So that's it. That's not happening. Let's remove him, get him out of the way. So the guy with the gun, with Carl Eric's gun, Pete, you know him to be. He kind of steps around his mother, and as he sees his brother collapse to the floor, he shouts, "You bastard!" and opens fire on you, Elsa. He's going to terminate you with extreme prejudice. I mean, he's got a success, so if you want to try and dodge, use your fast action, you can make an agility roll, and you need to get at least one success. But you don't, and so you take 2
Push it.
physical conditions. If you push it, you'll take a condition, and if you still fail, you'll take another 2 on top of that. So it's up to you. It sounds like a bad idea to me. Right. So
Yeah, Vlad, you're not giving me good advice there.
Blood will be silent.
Valdis,
What conditions do I take? What's happening?
you got 2 physical conditions. You choose which on your sheet. On your sheet, you've got exhausted, battered, wounded. Don't tick broken because that's coming.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, I will be 2. I'll be exhausted, and I'm a bit battered. I'm just a bit bruised.
Okay. So yeah, you've this gun has kind of struck you in the shoulder or something. Right. Valdis, what are you doing?
I think I'm gonna get a bit closer.
Yep.
Do we have a movement restriction? Sorry.
You kind of do, but I'm not stressing about it too much. I'm not doing this as a tactic. Depends how close.
Okay. I just want to get a bit closer, like up to here.
Oh,
So I've
yeah.
got a straight shot on Pete.
On
Is
Pete.
it that's left?
It is, yeah. He's the one
Yeah.
with the gun. You've just seen him take a shot at Elsa and appears to have hit her.
I'm gonna attempt to get him.
Okay, let him have it.
Rifle.
And you hit
Yay! See, getting closer helps.
him.
Clearly.
Yeah. Ow. Is he going to try and dodge this bullet? He is. Oh. He manages to
When he
avoid your
dies?
attack. And yeah, he's quite tough,
How's he
isn't he?
agile?
He's a big guy and 50 years old. He shouldn't be moving that fast. Anyway,
His magic's at work, obviously.
it's just cheating. That's what it is. Right, Ingrid.
So, having seen Elsa next to me getting shot, I'm going to try and do something to treat the injuries.
Oh, that's the wrong one. Yeah, sure.
Thinking, I'm not going to be carrying a medkit, but a Victorian woman. I've got like 3 miles of petticoats of like cotton and linen type stuff. So I've got plenty of fabric. I can do bandages.
Yeah,
Victorian clothes, good for something.
absolutely.
So, yeah, I'm going to...
Okay. You're going to do a medicine type thing.
I am.
Why don't you do that? Yeah, it's not a critical injury, so I don't know. Can you heal a condition? No. Tell me, Jake. Tell me, Jake.
It looks like if she had multiple successes on a roll, if the character is broken, then it would heal an additional condition.
Ah,
Like
so
you
it's
take
no
off-
good here.
But it does have under typical slow actions. Treat injuries is one of the
Do
things.
it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Do it. Do it.
That's what it
Yeah,
is.
absolutely.
All right. Medicine then.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I was using the bit of the petticoat that's got all like the ruffles and the bows, and yeah, it just wasn't as effective as it should have been.
I mean, you've been in the water earlier as well. Maybe that's done something nasty to the cloth. Who knows? Is there anything else? No, just that it? We done?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Okay, and about now, Oscar kind of comes to his senses. And he kind of leaps onto Godmother Abella. And he tries to kind of knock her to the ground or kind of take the gun from her. Holy shit.
Wow.
Good old Oscar.
Yeah. Yeah, that was surprising. Oh shit.
Whoa. She's a tough old bird.
Yeah, and so they're kind of basically fighting over this shotgun. They kind of she's grabbed a hold of it, and she's trying to fight him off and trying to kind of stop him from taking the gun from her. This is it says, I don't know why it says Pete, but it's definitely Justina. What will she do?
Surrender.
Should kick him. Do some kicking. Take the feet out from under them.
I could use a brandy.
Yeah, she's a bit of a distance. Perhaps will she run towards you? You guys?
No, but she might like shoulder barge one of them, like the mum or something, so that they topple over so they can't shoot.
Okay, so she's going to try and help Oscar then, again, with Godmother Abella, and she's going to try and grab a hold and see if she can help. I'll give her a bonus dice as well, because obviously Oscar's there. Ineffective. Okay, so she's just kind of getting in the way, I think, between Oscar and Godmother Abella at this moment in time. That's all right. Godmother Abella, however, is now
Rather angry.
She is. I think she's going to try and... She's going to strike back at Oscar with the butt of the gun.
Oh, do the dogs get to join in the fighting?
Oh, yeah, they do. You got to tell me.
Be a massive pile-on.
Yeah. Yes, you can order the dogs in. I think they give you some assistance, don't they? Is it an extra dice or something if you're doing close combat?
They might get hurt.
They might.
The risk.
Yeah. Okay, she strikes Oscar in the face, and he takes. Yeah, well, he basically strikes him across the face, and you see him kind of fall to his knees as she kind of hits him with the barrel of the shotgun across his face. We're on to Roland.
So, do we just want to take Godmother down by any means necessary, or we're happy to like wrestle her down? Because I was also hoping that with what's his name, Oscar wrestling her, that would give me some bonus die on shooting her. But I think the other person
I'd say it might. If you did have a bonus die, it might be cancelled out by the fact that they're kind of moving around.
Yeah, I was just thinking because she tried to join in as well, that may have just made it.
Go on then.
But no, that's fine. As I say, it may have got cancelled out for a different way, but
No, do it.
I'm gonna try and shoot Grandma.
Go on then.
Of course not.
But there's a lot going on here. It was a pretty risky shot that you took. Maybe as you're kind of doing that, perhaps Oscar or Justina kind of stands in the way, and it causes you to fire, kind of a little bit out of the way.
Fools.
Yes. Elsa.
So what happens now? So can I still shoot, but it changes my right?
Yeah, it should automatically add the conditions on for you. So
I don't think how many shots I've done. One,
you've
two.
done. Yeah, you got four left of you.
A 6 and a.
6 in a revolver. Yeah.
I've got 3 left.
Okay.
Okie dokie. So I'm sort of lying on the floor, and I try and fire my gun again at the mother.
Okay, you got Mother Abella. Sure. So let's say you've come a bit closer to Vlad here. That's
Damn it.
there's a lot going on down there. You can see, obviously, you like Roland, Oscar and Justina seem to be trying to fight Godmother Abella, which is making it very difficult for you to draw a bead on her. And so your shot goes wild. Vlad.
Yeah, I believe there is a knife that is dropped into the floor here somewhere.
There absolutely is, yes.
Vlad would very much like to grab that knife.
Oh.
And Vlad is hurt, but he is not broken, so he will crawl over towards the... maybe somebody will trip over him and cause themselves to be hurt.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, who knows?
Yes.
It's all about getting that right spot, innit?
It is.
And I may have a hardcover book that I could bash somebody over the head with, perhaps. So I will move up to my group.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so that's your action. Yeah. We have Pete, who is he's incandescent with rage right now, I suppose. Are you sneaking up, Vlad?
I will. Yeah, I was kind of crawling up, so I'm hoping not to be noticed until I take my. I believe it was a fast action to pick up the weapon, so slow action would be to sneak. I'm trying to see. So I would probably need to roll.
Make a stealth roll if you would, please. Okay.
The pool
I'm gonna
of
make a
blood
bit.
is very noticeable.
Yeah, it's the fact. The fact is, it's probably Elsa that he's more interested in. So whether he sees you on, I'm gonna. Let's go with vigilance. I'll give him a negative there. Oh, but he sees you.
Oh.
And he as you kind of crawling up and trying to say, he basically takes his foot and he takes a swing at you with his foot.
Not
Another book.
wow.
It's only one success.
That's enough.
And so, bang! You feel something crack in your side as he kind of sticks his foot in, and he's yelling obscenities and calling you horrible names because PG, and you feel this hefty boot in your side, and something gives.
And
you take you take a physical condition. Are you broken?
I am broken.
Okay, so you can do nothing. You can do nothing right now
broken.
except kind of crawl away. I think is the only thing that you're able to do.
I may be able to come up with new concepts for book titles.
Yeah, there's a lot of stars kind of going around your head at the moment. A lot of birds kind of tweeting. Valdis, you've kind of seen Vlad kind of scramble down the hillside. He's gotten towards Pete, that he kind of has just kind of collapsed at this guy's feet after he's had this hefty kick to his side.
Okay.
What are you doing?
So Pete's attention is towards Vlad.
Yeah.
So, would I be able to travel that distance to get him?
Yeah.
Okay. My thinking is, while he's distracted, I'm going to
third run.
I'm going to send Copper in.
Yes.
Like get my dog whistle or whatever. Send Copper in because he's been just chilling at the back waiting to be told what to do.
Yeah.
And signal him to attack his arm or something. I try anyway. I don't know whether the dog's clever enough to get it.
The dog's clever enough.
Yeah, he's going to go in and attack, and I'm going to charge and follow.
Okay.
Try and knock it.
Gives you a bonus, right? To your.
I mean, all it says is, oh yeah, close combat it'll be, yeah. I can use close combat. Yeah, so basically I'm going to send Copper in to bite him, and then I'm going to literally be chasing after him to tackle him.
Go for it. Yeah, that sounds cool to me. Yeah. Your fear is gone because she's jumped back into whatever the subject of your fear has jumped into the sea and swum away, as far as you're aware.
Yeah.
And so you point at this. You point at Pete and shout at Copper, sick him or whatever, and Copper sprints down the across these slippery rocks and jumps at Pete, and you follow. You sprint down after him.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to be.
So according to this, I think it means I get 3 bonus dice.
I think technically you've had your slow action by running down there, maybe.
Okay. Oh, right, okay.
I
I can't then tackle.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's do it anyway. Yeah, do it.
Okay. So just do the kick and punch, or do it as well.
Yeah, I'd say kick and punch,
and then.
And get your 3 bonus dice for your dog or whatever.
I'm already at -3, so I'm.
That'll even it out.
Let's give it a go.
Yeah.
Yes. That's so cool.
Amazing.
So,
Oh,
okay. Okay. I mean, he's going to try and get out of the way. I think. Let's say as Copper charges at him and leaps up at him, he's going to try and dodge to get out of the way, and see what we come up with. Okay, and he's marginally successful. The dog kind of grabs a hold of his arm and kind of drags him round as you kind of rush down there and twat him. Are you kicking him or punching him, whatever? And so he's going to take. You chin him. You kind of see the bruise immediately kind of form on his jaw as you smack him in the face.
Yeah,
it's a good strike. Yeah, sure, cool. Ingrid.
Having seen, imagine it would have been a really dramatic moment with lots of silent Bs in there as well.
There were, yeah.
Yeah, of his descent into brokenness. So, can I sprint over to him and have a go at healing him as he's...
I mean, we're all taking liberties, but yes.
That's fine. Leave me dying.
He's dying more.
I mean, he's only broken. He's not kind of critically injured, but you can try and help him out of the way, maybe, as opposed to actually trying to heal him. No, go for it. No, heal him. Do it. Yeah. We've already been over this. I don't know why I'm talking about it again. Let's do it.
3 rooms.
That's probably why. I'm
yes,
nervous.
the problem with that is it's only 3. There should be at least 4 or 5, right?
Yeah, you imagine what you'd be getting if I'd had that many.
We're not even halfway
All
through.
the bonus dice.
We'll see what we get.
And I leave Cholera to Elsa. She really likes the doggies. And my books, you better give them to Roland. He's the one that could use the most learning. He might benefit from them the most.
Oh, excellent. So get rid of one of your physical conditions there.
Yeah, I'm not broken. Yay.
As she kind of, as Ingrid kind of stands over you. Is it more of the same? You're kind of tearing strips off your clothing and
yeah, strips off the petticoats, and bandaging and whatever.
Nice, excellent.
My cholera hurts.
He's been kicked in the cholera. Oscar recovers and attempts to once more take on Godmother Abella. I mean, he's not good at this, but he's trying.
He just needs to be good enough.
Yeah, that's right. She fights back. They're still locked in this kind of struggle at the moment with for this gun. Pete, who has just seen he's just watched Vlad kind of go down. He heard the crack. He put the old welly into Vlad. He now turns to you, Valdis, after you just hit him in the jaw, and he kind of smiles his toothy smile, and he kind of reaches out with his hand. He's gonna try and mangle you.
Rude.
Yes, isn't he? He's doing all right at that.
Oh God.
And now you can parry in some way. Use your rifle or something to parry him, or your fist, or you can try and dodge out of the way, I guess.
I'll probably just try and protect myself than dodge.
Okay, so let's make a 4th roll. He's got 2 successes, so if you can beat them, excellent.
Oh, force! I don't. What's combat investigation? This is not going to go well.
It doesn't. So you're going to take 2. So it's going to be 2 physical conditions that he's going to inflict on you. So he
I don't have to.
Bang! Hits you in the face. And you just kind of see stars as he does that. So you're past broken, eh? Have you got broken checked?
Yeah, I broke in.
And you got another one. Oh, this is where it gets in, because you now get to roll on the critical injuries table.
Oh no!
Which is
So if you
physical.
yeah, click on that up there. And you'll see
So-
there's a physical, under the Vaesen core game, there's a physical critical injuries. You can open up,
Okay.
and you click the
So-
roll button down the bottom right. Let's see what
Roll.
happens.
That is a lot.
Isn't there?
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh,
Okay.
What's that number? 64. So I have to
So
pull
the
that
problem with this is, I mean, it's a good job you got people that know medicine, apparently. You can drag that
How's
across.
Mexico's going to mend a torn abdomen?
Well, you just got to
Uh,
keep her insides on her inside.
So, yeah, basically he doesn't strike you in the face. Yes, he kind of strikes you, get a low blow, and you feel something. Yeah, you feel something click and tear inside as it hits so hard, harder than you've been hit ever in your life.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can drag that onto your character sheet, by the way, from the chat window.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah, and
I need to
If
roll
you-
a 1d6.
you do roll a 1d6 because that's how many hours you've got left to live.
What?
5.
Yay, 5.
So you have in 5 hours' time, you will die unless you are treated.
Wow, that got
Yay.
We should just about
Very
wrap
dark.
up the fight by then.
Yeah. Other than that, you are down on the ground, unable to
Crap.
do anything. Yeah, effectively, except maybe crawl away. You can't talk or speak or do anything like that.
Okay.
And yeah, so he's quite pleased with himself about that. Is our Pete Abella? Abella is going to try and fight our boy Oscar again. She doesn't manage to do anything there. She's still locked in Mortal Kombat with this guy.
Comedy of
And
errors.
it is basically Roland.
Because Oscar is distracting Abella, Goddy motherfucking so much. I'm
Yep.
gonna switch my aim to Pete to try and prevent him doing anything more nasty to Veldis.
Yep.
And hopefully at least clear some space so if someone can do, I don't know,
Yeah, I mean, it's probably
whatever
easier
the
to hit
intestinal version of CPR is.
him. It's probably easier to hit him because there's less people kind
Yeah.
of dancing around him at this moment in time.
One can only
Um,
hope.
Yes,
I mean, most of them are lying down at this point.
yeah, it seems to be.
Come on, dice. Oh, God's
Oh
oh
man!
no.
So what's the rule about pushing again?
Right, if you
You'll
push
take a
yourself, you
condition
can take a
regardless.
condition. Yeah, regardless of that, and you get to roll again. Effectively, that's entirely up to you whether you want to do that.
And then if I fail, do I take more conditions? Or is-
No, if you fail, no,
No.
not in this
Okay.
instance. Yeah,
I'm tempted to go push and go for angry.
go for it.
Fucking frustrated.
I think that makes perfect sense in this situation. You feel the rage building. Oh,
God
no!
damn it.
You feel the rage building up even more.
Oh.
Um,
Yeah, I just wanted to kill them all somehow.
not with rolls like that, you won't.
Hey, the game says I have an 80% chance. So
That's a good point. The game lied.
the maths lies.
Yeah, yeah. So, Elsa.
Okay, hold on. I'm just going to mute. I'm asking Mark a technical question.
What happens behind muted microphones?
Yeah, right there, Lloyd.
I'm just joining in. It's fine.
Exactly. Remind me.
Which is amazing because on Discord, on my Discord, you're in between Mark and Ange, and you were just joining in.
Okay, so I'm going to. I think I might have already moved, but I'm going to rummage in my bag and pull out a syringe and lunge at Godmother
Abella.
and syringe her.
Okay.
A syringe?
Yes.
Is there anything in the
Yes.
syringe? Or are you just going to give her
well-
nasty air bubbles?
That's it. She's going to die from whatever it is. Air bubbles in her bloodstream. It's going to cause an aneurysm. Okay. And that's going to be... close combat or force?
Force. Because I'm forcing.
Because you're better there. You're better at that, right?
I am.
Okay, so let's use force. As you kind of grab your... I mean, we're really taking liberties with the movement and shit here, aren't we? Let's go for it.
We're taking these liberties, but we're still not doing great.
I know. So you grab the syringe. It's in a little case or something, right? Do you want to describe this thing to?
It's in a little pouch. That's like, it looks like a glasses case, which is like why I keep it in there because it's conspicuous. And it might even have some glasses in there, but underneath there is this syringe.
So you got this glass syringe with this long needle.
Yes.
And you grab this thing out and just throw the case to the side.
Oh yeah. Let's get some new glasses.
And as you rush forward, you jump at Godmother Abella. And you try and stick this in it.
I do. Into her temple.
You have to make it hard for yourself.
Successes there. Now,
I don't know,
She's-
into her
she's-
neck maybe.
she's kind of fighting. She's fighting with Oscar, Justina. So I don't think there's much you're going to be able to do about this. You kind of jump in and you jam this thing straight into her head, bang, and then inject the contents of it straight into her head. Is that right?
Yeah, that would do.
Okay. Whatever this is, it's not going to take effect immediately,
No.
but probably next round, I think, there's going to be some repercussions.
I stopped
Okay.
taking notes, by the way, at the start of this fight.
That's all right. Yeah, I stopped taking notes weeks ago. Blood.
Oh,
You are.
blood.
Ingrid is kind of standing over you, looking concerned. She's patching. You see, that she's torn strips of her petticoat off, and is kind of. She's binding this injury that you received from the knife from Pace earlier. And it seems to be she's a good nurse. She's a doctor, right? That was the cover story. Turns out, maybe she wasn't lying. Because this is a really good field dressing that she has just stuck on you. And you are able to function momentarily. What do you want to do?
Oh, with my last dying momentary breath, I'm going to crawl over to Valdis. I'm going to reach into my satchel.
Before
out
you
a
die,
book.
read this. Yeah.
I know how to fix this. I wrote a book. It's called The Veterinarian's Guide to Healing People. And I am going to attempt a medicine check on her. We're quickly referring to the book.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Now, at least I know medicine. We'll see.
Is that book called
Oh, it's called If Only I Read It Before I Wrote It.
Yeah, it's called With the Benefit of Hindsight.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're attempting to try and fix Valdis up bit. I mean, this is quite a nasty wound that she's received from this big, leering monster that's kind of standing over her. And he's just standing there grinning. It doesn't seem to be helping too much. I mean, maybe just her wounds are more severe than you realise. Right, we're going on to... Oh, shit. Pete. Pete has a new target.
Oh, no.
As I say, he sees you kind of trying to... standing or kind of crouching over Valdis trying to help her, and he kind of smiles a wicked, evil smile. And he reaches out to you. He's going to try and throttle you.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That is a lot of dice.
Isn't
That's
it?
a lot nice.
And you feel his hands around your neck, and he starts to choke you. Now, that's 2 successes, so that's
So I will be rolling now on the
critical. Is it?
I,
Yeah. Do you know where the table is? Are you all right with that?
physical and precision. No, a test.
So if you click up on the tables,
yeah, okay, I saw that.
button,
Mental,
Passing
physical,
core game.
critical injuries. And
there you go. And you just click the roll button at the bottom right.
there we go. Oh, it's really looks like it's doing a lot.
I don't know how you got a ruptured bowel from him throttling you. Maybe it's
What's his obsession?
No, I think I just voided my bowels from new holes in the bowels.
Oh my
Maybe,
god!
maybe it just strangled you too hard, and there was just a blowout down below to equalize the pressure.
Ew.
Ingrid did tell you not to eat that much bread.
She did. Yeah, that's gluten intolerance for you. Okay. Would you
Hang
mind
on.
rolling a
I'm-
d6
yeah.
for me?
I'm gonna roll it straight from here.
Yeah.
Supposed to work. Okay, we will just roll it.
Try and get a 6.
Oh, we were trying to get 6s? Oh, I misunderstood.
Oh, shit.
So
2
you got
hours.
2 hours. I mean, you know,
It's enough.
That's
for
still a
me to
long
see the
time.
end.
this fight isn't going to last 2 hours.
we can- One way or another.
No, we'll all be dead.
I mean, it's going to be a lot easier to put, like, Valdis's insides back inside rather than anyone to help with your bowel problem.
Yeah.
You're on your own.
Okay.
I don't want you to put what's outside of my bowels back inside. Close it up.
Schoolboy error. Valdis, you are in a
Yes.
bad way.
Yes.
So, what can you do? That's the big burning question, isn't it?
Medicine herself?
She can't do much at all, if I recall.
Rubbing out now.
No.
I have a torn abdomen. I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, you might be able to crawl away, or try to crawl away.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely what I would do. Is like just try and get away.
Okay.
I think that'd be the start of it.
Yeah. Okay. So you're just going to try and get away from Pete. Let's move you a couple of spaces maybe over that way while all
Yeah,
that's
just
going
roll
on. Sure. Ingrid, you're up. Didn't expect this fight to go on this long, to be honest. I'm really surprised.
Neither did we.
I think our roles have like been
I mean, it started off well. You killed 2 people instantly.
I know.
And the dice gods really are not our friends tonight.
They lured you into a false sense of security, I think, and then I've just kind of kicked your ass ever since.
But what a story.
Ingrid, you've got
Ingrid,
What hap-
right. Ingrid.
What happens on the
is-
island stays on the island.
I think we may be staying on the island at this rate.
Maybe beneath it. Who knows?
So
Don't worry, Oscar's going to run across the island in a minute and save us all. Not Oscar,
You
the guy
realize
that
it's
bought
still
us.
going to move over until next week. We're not finishing it today.
It can't. It can't.
Ingrid is. She got. Yeah, so I've got a dagger. I'm just going to charge straight at the last remaining brother and just see. Watching him taking everyone out has just kind of made a snap. Rationale of being a weakling has gone out the window.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's a fair thing. Let's do this.
Can you get a bonus dice for sheer rage?
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a bonus dice just because he's too busy admiring his handiwork on Vlad and Valdis at the moment.
And I'm cheering you on. Yay, go!
Yeah. And Elsa's doing some kind of dance on there. Oh. Yes.
That was the bonus. That was the 6.
Okay. You stick this knife into the back of him. And you see him go like that and try to reach back behind. And he... Oh, shit.
Bollocks.
Yeah. He grabs the knife, but your hand is still on it, and he grabs your hand and basically kind of throws you down to the floor. And you're kind of laying there now in front of him.
Bad.
Yeah. Grab it, legs.
But yeah, I mean the knife is still in his back, unless you want to have taken out and you have it in your hand. What do you want to do? What do you reckon?
Taking it with me.
Okay, so he's basically grabbed your hand, thrown you to the floor. You've managed to keep a hold of the dagger, and so you're kind of thrown to the floor. Amidst all of this bedlam and chaos that's going on there, you can't, it's like, I guess you're seeing stars a little bit yourself, with you're a bit winded as that kind of happens. Oscar, once again, strikes out Godmother Abella.
Oh,
Yeah, strikes out's the word.
Yeah, no, well,
did something.
yeah, with his fists, and Shh. He's gonna try and dodge. Failed. And so
Yay.
you see Oscar basically, in his fury, he lands a right hook on Godmother Abella, and you see her kind of wheel a little bit as she's clutching the shotgun.
It looks like Elsa's elixir is having an effect.
Oh, I've forgotten about that. We'll deal with that in a minute. Yeah.
Chew.
No, I know how.
Godmother just violently explodes, killing everyone.
Yeah. Pete. What is Pete gonna? Right, Blood's down. So he's kind of stepping forward towards you, Ingrid. He's gonna try and grab a hold of you.
Oh, let's chew.
I've got one success. Do you want to try and dodge this? You can use agility. Try and roll out of his way.
Do it.
Or you can try and fight back or whatever if you like, parry him.
How is he coming in for the attack?
So he's kind of throwing you to the floor a little bit. He's kind of coming in. He's reaching out towards you.
She's got the knife.
Obviously, he's trying to grab a hold of you again. So you can fend him off with the knife, or you could try and just dodge.
Well, yeah, the reason I said I'd take the knife was sort of like, well, if she's down, if he comes anywhere near, with it.
Yes.
If he's coming in with that kind of movement, yeah.
Okay. So
I
in
need
this
his own
instance,
weight to.
the way that this is happening in the game is you're going to use this to kind of parry. So you're basically just going to stop him from grabbing a hold of you. And then on your go, you'll be able to try and stab him with the thing. So if you want to use close combat to try and use your knife, or you can use agility to try and roll out of the way. It's entirely.
I mean, they're both shite. So let's go with agility.
Yep. Oh, nice.
Nice.
And so he kind of comes towards you. You just kind of roll to the side and out of the way. And he kind of, I don't know, maybe he's enjoying the chase a little bit. He's kind of leering at you. Da, da. Godmother Abella, who points the gun at Oscar, the shotgun, after he's just cracked around the jaw. What is it that you've injected her with there, Elsa? Now, you were saying poison. Now, I was wondering if it might be something a bit more like a morphine or something, and you can just jam it all in and overdose her or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what was around at that time, so
morphine would have been around, sure. I mean,
Heroin.
it's something a bit quick.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be something that's quick. It's like arsenic was a very.
Yeah, it's kind of an odd thing to have in a syringe. That's what I'm thinking.
But arsenic wouldn't kill somebody instantly, I don't think, would it?
I know it causes a heart attack. Or is that strychnine? Can't remember. No, arsenic. I don't know what it does. Anyway.
My whole thing of carrying it around is to kill somebody quickly and swiftly with it.
Ooh. Okay, so you're a murderer. That's your.
No, it's self-defense.
So you want it to be a poison of some kind.
So something poisonous that was around in Victorian times. So Google that, somebody, and whatever that is.
We're not going to Google that. We're not going to do anything like that. Right. So I don't know what the rules for poisoning are off the top of my head. So I'm going to make her make a roll of some kind. No, I'm going to make her make one. A physique roll, maybe.
Okay.
But I think she's going to... You've injected this straight into her head, so I think... I think
this must be some sort of monkey flu, and the first occurrence.
Oh my god!
In a human.
There's no way she survived that. It's instant death.
So she's looking confused, but she's still on her feet. I think she's succeeded, so she's not going to take that point of damage. Right. So no, she's still on her feet, but she's not looking very good at all. I mean, she's been hit in the face by Oscar. She's been stabbed in the head with some kind of syringe. Yeah, she's not doing very well at all. But she's got this shotgun, and she kind of raises it and tries to point it at Oscar. She's going to take a shot at him. Oh yeah.
No, she's got double vision. You need to put a minus on that.
Listen, she's got 2 condition. That's 2 dice missing off there already.
Well, she should have had 3 off it because.
Yeah, but she got 2 successes. So even if she had 3, if she was missing a die, she still may have got 1. Oscar.
Oh, it's Oscar. Don't care about Oscar.
Well, I mean, this is it. Nobody cares about Oscar, right?
I care a little bit.
Yeah. Well, that's a shame because he's just expired. So the shotgun goes. She's wavering it around. It's like she's very confused and doesn't really know what's going on. She just happens to point it in the right direction, and she fires. And Oscar's head disappears in the bloody spray. And his body kind of collapses to the floor.
Well, that injection was a raging success.
Was Oscar near Vlad? Does Vlad get covered in more body bits?
No, Justina does though. and Godmother Abella does. Roland, you're up, my friend.
It's gonna be like, for God's sake, just stop moving.
And well,
try to take another
Oscar's
shot
not
at Pete.
moving anymore.
I mean, Pete. Like, if Pete could stop moving, that'd be great.
You're gonna get a bonus dice because Godmother Abella is not compos mentis necessarily right now.
I mean, we're on the middle on an island in the middle of the ocean trying to make a deal with mermaids. I don't think anyone's compos mentis.
Godmother Abella, or are you shooting at
Pete?
Pete. Okay.
Yeah, Pete, because he's more of a threat to the injured folk.
Okay. Except for his mum, who's just killed somebody.
Yes, finally.
No, at least you get to kill someone.
Sometimes he doesn't dodge it or whatever.
Okay.
Celebrate the murder.
I think the way it's been, at this point of the adventure, it should just be all sixes.
Yeah. How do you kill him?
Statistically speaking.
How do you kill him, Roland?
Well, I think that's the thing, because he's just enjoying the his little weird little power thing going on.
Yeah. Oh, there's definitely that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think he's just not paying attention at all, and then he takes a moment to gloat or whatever, and then just popped him in the side of the head.
Yeah. And so.
And then that sprays over Godmother, whatever.
Blood.
Yeah. And
Vlad.
Vlad.
Yeah.
Vlad. It's not so much Vlad. It's Elsa actually is going to get this because it.
Everyone's going to end up covered in blood.
Yeah. Once more, another shot
Vlad, be silent.
rings out, and it's a bit of a mess. We've got Pete's brains kind of are splattered all across the basically Elsa and Vlad. Vlad's probably less aware of what's going on at this moment in time. As Elsa, when you hear this gunshot and Pete's head basically disappears.
I bend down so it goes over me and over Vlad.
Now that would be a fast move, and you've used yours.
Yeah.
So that's not happening.
And then I think afterwards, Roland's the biggest sigh of relief.
No, because we still got to kill Mum.
It doesn't matter. He's killed somebody.
The sweet release of somebody else's death.
Yeah.
Got one.
Ooh.
Oh, those doggies are still there. Could the doggies have had another attack?
Give me 2 rounds.
Well, I mean, the people that have got the doggies are both in bits at the moment. That's the problem. So the doggies
they could roleplay as
sniffing
they
around at them. Yeah. So we have gone to Elsa.
I'm just gonna point blank shoot Godmother in the
goddamn fate. Yes. Go on then. Get yourself a bonus dice because she seems very, very confused with some. Well, I don't know. She's got something in her head.
Get it. Oh!
And there's this final crack of the gun. And Abella kind of stands there, looks stunned for a second. Her eyes she looks around, sees the carnage, sees all of her sons, all of her children dead. As she kind of sways on her feet momentarily, her eyes, she squints like she's trying to focus. And then she kind of looks at you and she says, "You dog, you shark, you blasted whale."
I punch her in the face.
Well, she don't have to. She collapses on the floor and...
Damn it.
Well, you already made your action. What do you expect?
Well, I wanted to get a last swipe in because she was being rude.
I mean, you can still do it. She's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she's down on the floor, I give her a kick in.
Okay. That seems a little bit excessive. But...
Oh, that's excessive. A needle to the temple wasn't, or...
Okay, folks.
Are we out of initiative? Is everyone dead?
Everybody's
Dead or
dead.
dying.
Yeah.
I am trying to sort out the parts, which are mine, which are his, which are hers. Was theirs. That no, not.
Yeah, I just hope none of his bowels get into your gut because you'll die. quite horrible.
Justina kind of rushes over to where the body of Oscar kind of lies. And she kind of sobs uncontrollably. You're not sure if it's because of him or whether it's just the whole thing, really. The events of this evening. And she kind of looks around at all of you. What? What now?
Well, there's nobody left to sacrifice. Blood doesn't say, because blood is silent.
I think their deal is done, and they will not be coming back.
Should be no
I'm just
more
going to
deaths
wander over
now.
to Zachariah and shoot him in the head again just to make sure he's dead.
He's falling. He fell into the water. He shot.
Oh, dang.
And fell into the water
Yeah.
over the
That's what
side. I mean, maybe you can see his body floating there.
Just want to make sure.
So there's no sign of this mum.
You
Nope.
do have two very injured people, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
might need to try and fix them.
How do we fix people? I have no no appropriate skills, but I shall try.
Yeah, it's medicine.
So,
What do you get-
like medicine's not. Can we all roll a medicine to try and help them? Like we can all be like trying to like shove things back up his rectum or put things back in her stomach. Yeah, wrapping them up, shoving them in.
Can we make sure in the order of that, please?
Does anyone have any dice, any skill in like medicine? Because we can assist for like bonus dice.
Medicine. I've got a 5 for medicine.
Cool. We can assist.
Basically,
if we do it, we'll probably kill
try
them.
and stabilize them to because they've only got a limited amount of time before they die. So, who's making this roll? Somebody they're assisting.
I'll assist.
Yeah. If we assist, then then
We're holding
Ingrid
bits
can
in
make
and
the-
up.
Okay, so we're going to have. Am I assuming that the fake doctor is going to try and fake medicine this person?
I mean, if they succeed, it becomes real medicine.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. It's just got to be good enough to
Patch him up. That's what we
not
can do
have
about,
them
yeah.
dying within the next couple of
that's
hours.
right. Because critical injuries, there is a roll that gets made later. See whether or not the effects become. So.
I think I must be dying. The water, the ocean, it smells like cologne for some reason.
Flart, your next book needs to be emergency medicine.
That would be quite useful. So who's helping me?
I'm helping.
Can only one person help?
That's a good question. I don't know off the top of my head.
I think you should have 2 bonus dice.
You didn't read my book on medicine. It was titled "How Not to Kill Your Patient."
I thought about reading it.
Wish we had.
And then decided that
account.
actually I would be better off doing something useful.
Oh.
Wow. Insulted dying man.
Maybe
It
broken,
is-
but
it is
he's just
before they count.
Burn.
All right, how many bonus dice am I getting? If 2 people are helping,
We're all helping to shove.
Yeah, I mean, we always ask chat. Chat, do you want Vlad to survive?
No one wants blood to survive.
question.
Oh, it's not looking good.
Okay. Unless
My next character will be a mortician.
let's say you've got. I mean, I don't know if it's possible for more than one person to assist. Case.
Well, while they're doing that, I can be at the top, like holding his head, saying "bite onto this" and giving him something to bite onto, like a.
Please, whatever you do, don't inject me with your syringe.
Yeah, Dave said, "Go on then. We should have 2 bonuses."
If Dave said so, that's what's
He-
happening.
He said 2, not 1. Ignore what he said there. Normal.
Yeah, he's been doing things all evening. Definitely too. See, he's done it again.
He's 1 and 2 have got mixed up on the keyboard.
Let's see if you can fix.
With 2 the bonus, yeah.
Mm.
Go on then.
Oh.
And it's
Okay.
once again the number of bonus dice was the number of successes.
So it turns out Ingrid did nothing. It was the 2 guys assisting that. Is that what we're saying? Is that what?
Exactly
Yeah,
what
totally.
we're saying.
Great assistance.
Doctor, I will never eat bread again.
Okay. So let's you're not going to die. At least one of you is not going to die right now. Who was that for? I'm going to let Ingrid make the decision. Who were you looking at first? Oh, that's a terrible thing, isn't it? Roll a dice, because that's a terrible thing for me to ask you.
Correct.
Well, they're all to be
Yeah.
fair, they're all closest to the blood anyway. I kind
Well,
of
I mean, Flood's gonna die first, but the other one isn't Flood.
Yeah, because Flood had 2 hours, so he's more critical.
I would say, based on that comment, mission accomplished.
So, I mean, I do you want to say it's Vlad that you're
Yeah, let's
assisting
say
as
Vlad.
well?
I insist the roll. We have to add the.
I will say
tension to
Blood
the
because
game.
he's gonna perspire quicker.
Yes.
I was going to say blood because, well, no, I was going to ask for a reminder of how long each of them had rolled on their dice.
Blood's
So-
Yeah,
Two
Vlad's got
and-
2 hours, and
Yeah, we got plenty of time either way.
this was 5.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so that would have been flood.
Okay, so
But if
Vlad
I've
is
got
no
2
longer-
successes, could I use 1 on each of them?
Well, no, hold on a minute. Wait.
Yeah.
She's
Why
going to
not?
make Flood better and then go over and help out. It's not like you can't just
We
like.
brought them together.
Yeah.
We brought them together. They
It's
were next
2
to
rolls.
each other.
It's
So
going
it
to be
was
2
kind of
rolls.
like,
She's going to do that, and then she's going to turn around and do that.
You know what?
But on the other hand, we could tie this up quite neatly with.
When you're on a battlefield, you don't go, oh, actually, I'm only going to save that person because I'm not going to do that one.
I mean,
Anyway.
that's entirely how triage works.
To be honest,
On a
that-
battlefield.
body parts.
That's entirely how it works.
this is how the pair of you helping, we got both of them over, and then
Yeah.
one of you is helping me with one of you is helping me with the other, and I was just kind of in the middle.
And you
and saying,
fixed them
Yeah,
both.
you're just instructing. Yeah.
and we fixed them both. We left that.
Okay.
In that case, Veldis owes me a life debt.
No, you were helping with blood.
Wait, what?
So, okay. So,
I've got a field kitchen. I'm making them some soup.
what?
It says here, I've got a field kitchen.
Well, okay. Now you're just getting silly.
Am I getting silly?
So
You have to roll for the soup.
roll for soup. Okay.
As long as it's
so
not fish soup, we're good.
you've got 2 successes. Let's assume then that you've stopped them both from expiring, but they're still very poorly.
We could still suffer horribly for the rest of our lives.
Well, you could still suffer horribly, and it kind of makes me feel a little bit bad for what comes next.
The tide.
But we're going to take a little break before that happens.
But 10 minutes and
So, as you kind of you stand there, you kind of try and treat your friends and that to stop them from dying, expiring within the next few hours. And the sun starts to creep above the horizon in the distance. The sea is relatively calm. And then the whole island begins to shake as you're standing upon it. It gets more violent. And
get people to the vote.
yeah, and so you kind of start rushing towards the boat and Orvar on the far side of the island. And this whole island just suddenly erupts. Like the sea starts churning all around it. And the island rocks so violently that you're kind of thrown. All of you are thrown up into the air. I'd like you all to make
Black
agility
screen.
rolls. Is it?
Yeah.
Did I go just down to wounded? Did I lose the broken?
I made it.
Oh, I made it. Oh no. Oh no.
Can we
I think, you're
donate
still,
successes?
I think you're still broken at the moment, actually, Valdis. But
Okay.
so, who made it? Elsa is the only one that made it.
No, Roland made it.
Oh,
I
Roland
made
made
it.
it too? Okay.
And he's got 2 successes. Can he not help someone?
He can.
I mean, can we try and push, maybe?
Well,
Would
if
that
you
be a
push
thing?
it, and you're already broken, then you're rolling on the critical injuries table again.
Oh, does it not
Oh.
go onto the mental one?
No,
Okay.
so I would suggest don't do that.
Yeah, nah, I'm good.
So Roland, you got 2 successes. You can help somebody.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, if I try to help the injured people. Like, I don't think there's a way I really could. Because we're like, oh, let's pick up Veldis and throw her over my shoulder. That'll go well.
But that's exactly what I'm asking you to decide.
Yeah.
You've got 1 success. You can extra success. You can help somebody else.
I'll give it to Ingrid, and then we can work together to get the. If the other 2 just we drag them along.
Okay. And so the whole island is shaking violently. The sea's churning around, and you see these strange dark shapes kind of rearing up out of the air, out of the ocean, as the sea's churned up around the island, and the island itself begins to move. So violently, you're thrown around a little bit. You manage to keep to your feet, Roland and Elsa. And Ingrid, you grab a hold of Ingrid as she's kind of thrown off her feet. You manage to grab a hold of her before she's kind of thrown off the island. Unfortunately, Vlad and Valdis are both catapulted off into the ocean.
Oh, I thought they'd be alright, given they're already lying down.
Well, I thought if they were lying down, that meant you weren't helping them along.
Well, we're dragging them. I mean, they're kind of wounded. We can't really, like, keep them vertical.
Dragging them.
We have to drag them. They got physical injury.
So, they are thrown off into the ocean.
Hello?
And you can see these things, these shapes that have kind of risen up out of the ocean around the island. You then recognize them.
Oh,
They're kind
no.
of these huge, like tree trunks. They're that big. But they have these suckers like all along the inside of them.
No.
And there are many of them, of these things, as they kind of reach up out of the ocean, seeming
Oh,
to
God.
kind of grasp.
This is
anything.
gonna suck.
Yeah.
Cthulhu!
Oh, for God's sake, slap Lloyd again. I can't believe he even got away with that.
Well, he hasn't got away with it yet. Okay, so the sea is pretty much foam all around this island, and
Yeah.
Vlad and Valdis have just been thrown into it. You kind of see Orvar is basically getting the boat ready to leave, as you kind of mount the crest of the kind of the mound in the middle. What are you doing?
I might go dive in after them and see if I can at least keep them afloat and pull them to somewhere the boat can pick us up.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Do that.
I mean, given they'll probably revert to form, I'll probably just drown on the way there before even getting to them. They can use my corpse as like a buoyancy aid. Would that be force
It
or agility?
would be.
I mean, it doesn't make much of a difference, to be honest.
I think it's agility. Here, you're gonna make an agility test.
Of course.
Okay. So you kind of throw yourself in heroically, and you manage to reach. Who do you reach, Vlad or Valdis?
Well, good.
Flip a coin.
Whoever he reaches for, I'll reach for the other one.
Okay, so you're gonna try the same. You need to make agility roll. Vlad and Valdis, you can both make agility rolls yourself.
Can I not make a force roll?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
Can I do force?
No.
Well, we're both screwed. Oh, wait.
I'll join in
Yay,
as well.
blood.
Whoa.
Okay,
Nice.
so yeah, you were thrown into the water, Vlad, and somehow, as sheer good fortune, you kind of find yourself in this churning water. It kind of swirling you around like you're inside a washing machine, and the next thing you know, you're kind of you can see Orvar's boat, and Orvar is kind of looking petrified. He's leaning over the side and he's reaching down to try and grab a hold of you. And he hauls you up out of the water with a strength that you quite surprising considering, you know, he's such an old man. Ingrid, you reach the boat by yourself. You manage to jump into it as this island starts to kind of raise out of the water, revealing that it is not an island at all. So, Elsa, Roland, and Valdis, you are in the water. And you can see...
Let's try and grab Valdis and...
Am I in the water?
Yeah, you failed your roll.
That's what we were all doing.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. I thought I was rolling to try and help people.
They are.
Yeah,
by
in the
getting
water.
into the water. They're in the water.
Unfortunately, if they're in the water, you need to be in the water to help them.
Well, I thought I was hanging over the edge like and yanking.
Yeah, you were wrong. Anyway,
Oh.
so yeah, there's a whole water around you. It's just churning and swirling you around, and it's difficult to kind of figure out where it is you are. And you can maybe catch the sail in the distance every now and again in this pale sunlight that's kind of shining down across the ocean. You catch this sail every now and again, but it's spinning you around until you're almost dizzy. Elsa, make an agility roll and see if you can get to the boat. And it's the same for Roland and Valdis.
All right, I'll try to get to
Please,
Valdis.
please, please. Oh, but piss.
Okay. Oh, for piss. That's exactly it.
Oh, Roland.
God damn it, Valdis.
Valdis.
Oh, nice.
Go, Valdis. Go, Valdis.
Yeah, Valdis, you're kind of maybe it's Roland is kind of dragging you along a little bit. But you kind of reach out, you reach the side of the boat and you can see that Orvar is hauling Vlad up. Ingrid, you can see Valdis is kind of right up by the side of the boat, and you can reach over and try and help her up. And so you start dragging her around. The boat starts spinning as well at this point in this churning water. Roland and Elsa, you can't quite make them out. Every now and again, you see an arm or a head kind of waving above the water. Right, so I want you both to make agility rolls again, Roland and Elsa. If you don't make it, you're going to take a physical condition.
This is a fishing boat, isn't it?
All right, I got us
It
covered.
is.
Okay, never mind.
Nice.
Yep, I got
Excellent.
us covered.
Okay, and so...
Like, sorry,
Roland.
Elsa, there's nothing I can do.
So I've got 3 physicals now.
No, I'm
Roland's
giving you
just
one of my
saved you.
successes.
Yeah.
All right.
And so, Roland, as you kind of you've kind of fear that you are going to go under for the last time, Roland reaches down and grabs a hold of you and hauls you back to the surface. And then you're kind of scrabbling around on the side of the boat. And Orvar and Ingrid kind of helping lift you all up into the boat until you are all safely, I say safely, in the boat. And then Orvar is grabbing the tiller. The sail is up. And he's sailing away as fast as he can. This churning water is being left behind you, the island. You kind of look back and you see a pair of large eyes kind of looking at you impassively as these tentacles kind of lower back down into the water and the sea starts to calm again. And then the whole island just disappears.
Yeah, resisting
below
the urge
the
to
water.
shoot the eye. You're like, we got away! Bang! Oh no, here it comes.
Holy moly.
What
Otherwise,
happened
a
to
bigger fish.
Justina?
Oh, that's a good point. What did happen to Justina?
Yeah, we didn't give a shit. We just left without her.
I assume she just did the sensible thing and just ran and jumped on
Was
the boat.
she injured? Did she? She would have run with us. if
She
she
wasn't.
No, she was fine.
She wasn't.
Yeah,
She
she's on the
was
boat.
fine.
She was like,
Yeah.
No, we won't make her roll for it.
She's on the boat.
Say she got on the boat. I say the
And
English.
wave.
Yeah,
Can I
she
change
was-
who I gave my success to?
I forgot all about Justina.
Gorgeous.
He turns up on the boat.
And yes, you sail away.
Sail away, sail away. Sorry.
Back
That
towards
song is going to be in my head all day now.
back towards Wrecker Isle through through all the islands. These blue-grey islands are all sitting impassively, quietly, uncaringly as you maneuver, as Orvar expertly maneuvers the small fishing boat through these different islands. And Wrecker Island is in sight within an hour. You can see all the boats kind of gathered up around it. So close, tightly packed, that you could probably walk to the next island across the top of these boats.
Would this boat take us to the normal island? Do we have to go to Wrecker Island? Because I don't think we're going to get
That's a
this.
good point. Where are you heading? Where were you heading?
I'd like to go to a hospital.
I
Oh, that's over on Fixer Isle.
don't think we would get a warm welcome at Wrecker Island.
I mean, they won't know yet. to be
Yeah, they're
fair.
also not going to like associate like the story with the herrings.
But we've got no reason to go back there, have we? I think we would
No,
head
so
back
you
to
gotta
the
just head back
That
to
is
the
a very
mainland.
lovely house that is currently missing.
I don't want to stay on that island. It smells of fish. And it's got some very rum people in there. I think
Have we left any of our stuff on the island?
No, we lost it all in the big boat that
Oh
Which is
yeah,
all with
Anna
us.
went down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we see anything in the big house that... Now we know it doesn't technically have a legal owner. Sorry, this is my D&D character bleeding in at this point. That maybe we would like to rehome any of the things that we saw? Or do we
Burn
just
it
want
to
to
the
get the
ground?
hell out of there?
The only thing we would go back to the home for is if we could find some evidence of Vaesen or some literature or something we could take back to our castle in order to like give more information to the libraries and that and research. But didn't we? I mean, Roland searched upstairs, didn't he?
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
the logbooks and stuff. Like they didn't
You got
write down
charts
anything
and
about
that, and
themselves specifically. What I would suggest is that we just
I think we-
burn it to the ground. That way, no one can find anything that leads them to that island or to making any more future deals.
But I think with 2 really injured people, I think we would try and get them medical help, and then I think we would go back to the
But
island.
we have a trained doctor.
Where? Where?
Trained in
Okay,
something?
If we would vote, who would vote? I'd vote back to the mainland island.
Yeah, we can come
Back to
then.
Wrecker Island or the mainland.
I mean-
Mainland.
I
Yeah.
vote for a doctor just because, you
Mainland.
know,
Mainland.
Yeah, well,
bleh.
no.
Conscious
Come
people
back.
get a vote.
I'm rude.
I'm curious to see what happens on the island after all of this, anyways. Which
Well, you can
Well,
put a nappy
We
on.
can drop those two off and then we can come
Well,
back.
It's funny you should mention that, Vlad. As you're kind of sailing along, you're probably all suddenly aware of. It's almost like the water is being drawn back
Oh shit!
out to sea, out to the beyond the archipelago, the west, and then you hear a distant rumble.
Oh, tidal wave.
And you just see something on the horizon. Kind of, it starts off. You just notice that some of the smaller, lower islands that are further out that you can see from where you are, suddenly see like almost like clouds kind of splashing up around them, I suppose. And it takes a while. Maybe even Roland gets his binoculars out and has a look.
Oh, go on then.
And
Holy shit.
As I said previously, tidal wave. Because he has his doubts anyone was paying attention the first time round.
yeah, and you see this thing. It kind of sweeps in across the islands, crashing across all of them. Just dragging all of any plant life or anything that might be on any of them, just dragging that all off. All the soil, the topsoil completely were gone from the top of these islands. The higher ones, the larger islands like Graveyard Island, are probably too high. This wave is a couple of meters above, quite a few meters high, but it doesn't kind of reach the top of some of those larger isles. The smaller ones are completely engulfed, and you kind of watch this thing as it kind of sweeps across the archipelago. You're fairly safe in the relatively deeper water out in the middle of the channel there where you are. But you get to watch as it kind of sweeps across Wrecker Isle. It smashes in, crashes through the boats that are all kind of parked up and docked around the island, crashing straight into the massive warehouse, running up most of the way up the island towards the inn, where it tears through that, washes that away completely, and then smashes into the mansion and destroys that. And then it kind of retreats. And shortly after, the sea is relatively calm again. Driftwood is kind of just scattered everywhere. Flotsam and jetsam from the boats that were kind of harbored. The buildings on the island just kind of litter the ocean around you. Perhaps the odd body floats amongst this wreckage.
Wow.
This is a real tragedy. I left one of my books in that big house for the library. I fear
It's
might
probably
be
for the
gone.
best.
We really didn't think this through.
Is
Well, I
this what
mean-
happens when one angers a Vaesen?
Well, we did what we could.
I can't say the loss of that island was not needed.
I know, but so many people, so much destruction.
I mean, if you left it be, the amount of murders and sacrifices would have eventually exceeded that number by a fair bit,
Well, yeah, it's true, but
just so they could have some extra fish. What a waste.
wow.
I think that is how we should approach this when we tell the society what happened here.
Yeah. The greater good, however.
The greater good. And that's where we end this adventure.